everyone, it's Loretta from Perfectly Popped Balloons, and on today's video I'm showing you how to decorate this Deco Bubble with some beautiful detailing around the edge, and we take it a little bit further by adding on some of these beautiful flowers that you can learn in previous videos. So here is something I made earlier. I have used an 18-inch purple orchid inside a Deco Bubble, and I've gone for the butterflies because I think this can be for anything. It's like the perfect tabletop accessory for a birthday, a Mother's Day, anything. I like the colours I've chosen today. I've gone for a tropical vibe, purple orchid and tropical coral. So today I want to show you how we can decorate this bubble up without it being a bubble hug with the big garland going around the edge. We're going to use the 260s, so it's a smaller bubble hug, and then I'm going to add some perfectly popped elements onto it by making it a bit flowery, because why not? One side I'm going to do as just a normal 260 going around, inflated with purple orchid, and this one we will do the other side with pearls. We'll start with the inflated one, the plain one. I've done 6 pumps. I'm just going to turn this around and see if that takes me to half. It doesn't even need to be exactly half. You could have it slightly off center as well. So if I put that in there and then stopped it here, you could do bubbles all the way around, but I'm going to go from here to here, and that does look about center. So I'm going with that. So I'm going to tie this off, and then I'm going to tie it in. If you're a bit more confident, you can tie it straight in and tie it off, but just so that you're not going to lose any air, or you feel like you're going to let go, tie it first. Now I'm just going to take a couple of necks, tie it right in underneath, like that. So all the mechanics are hidden. And then at this point, I want to follow the seam of the Deco Bubble, like this. Measure it up, make sure you're happy. And what I would like to do now is glue it in 3 points. So one here where it starts, one in the middle, and then one at the top to secure it. And for that, I'm going to use these U-glue dashes, the squares. Before using them, I like to warm them up first, because when they're cold, they don't work as well. So just the friction between your hands, warming them up, will do the job. Another little trick with these U-glue dashes is if you are gluing foil to foil, use 2 squares. One on the inside of one foil, one on the inside of the other, and stick the 2 U-glues together. When you're sticking latex to something, it will stick with one. It's really, really good. But foil to foil, you'll usually find that doubling them up is really, really good. So once they're warm, peel one of your squares off, measure up where you want it to go. You can either put it straight on the 260 or straight on the balloon. I'm going to go straight on the bubble because I'm going to get it on the line. So you can see here, I've put it straight on the line. And if you've warmed it up nicely, you should just be able to peel the white off. If the white piece of backing paper doesn't peel off nicely, that's when you know you haven't warmed it up quite right. Making sure that is in line, making sure everything's the right way round, it's all in line with the balloons at the bottom, and stick. You don't want to be forcing it in place, because that's when it's going to cause it to pop. You just want to stick it where it naturally wants to touch. So this time I'm going to go there, stick it to the balloon, the bubble, peel it off and stick. And now for the last one at the top. But before I do that, I'm going to knot this and tie it off so that it's ready for the next bit. I'm going to just cut that down to about half. Okay, so I want this one to sit here. Peel it off. Stick to the top. Again, make sure it's really stuck down. Peel the paper off and stick. So that's one half done. We are now going to do the other side with the pearls. So following the technique, how I taught you how to do pearls in the previous video, doing your 2 pumps, and I would use the technique that I showed you on how to do the pearls easier. We're going to apply this first, or attach this first, sorry. I'm gonna wrap it in and then tie it to a neck. Putting it nice and tight, hiding all of the aesthetics underneath. You can cut them off as well if they're a bit too long. Making sure the bubble is always in line. Now we can move on to doing our pearls. Doing 2 fingers and twisting 8 times so it doesn't unravel. And if you don't make enough, you can do an extra pump of air in this to go all the way round. I just like 2 pumps, it's comfortable for me. But we can use, again, in the previous video where you can make it longer, you can do that as well, which we will end up doing for this. So on that last one, I'm going to hold that in between my fingers whilst I warm this up. I'm going to make sure that first pearl, actually no, I'm going for the second pearl, and this time I'm actually going to put it on the pearl. Peel it off and stick on that seam like that. And I'm going to work my way up, swapping hands now. I'm going to go about halfway, sticking on, and then the last one. In fact, I'm going to do it the one before because I want to tie to this one, and it's harder to tie when it's already stuck. So we'll do it on the one before, but you'll see when I let go of this one, oh no, sometimes it comes unraveled, but I've just placed it down and it's going to stay. We're going to make another one. This is where we're making it longer. You can either make it longer first and then put it on, or do it this way round. I like doing it this way round because then I know how many I've got to do. So at this point, we can now attach it on. Yeah, it did unravel, but we can pretend now that this was one whole 260. So we can just start from where we glued. Cut them off. So now we can carry on from here. One from that previous one. And each time as I do it, I'm coming up the bubble and I'll know exactly when to stop. One more, because I don't want it loose. No, I'm going back one. I think that was perfect there. I'm going to wrap that around and pull it in close like that. Cut the end off, and then we can tie this in. One more glue dot on this last bit, and then I can cut them off. So on the last one, I'm going to put it under the bubble, pull that paper off and stick. Now I can cut this bit off, making sure not to pop anything. And now we have something that looks like this. And now what I would do is add all of my extra elements on. With the base that I've used, I've done the tropical coral in 7" using 12" balloons. And then I've just blown these 3 clusters together with 1 pump in the hand pump. And then these side ones I've just added in just to give it a little bit more thickness. I have done 2 pumps in them. So I'm just filling it out a little bit now, and I'm going to just fill in a few of these gaps before I add in these pretty elements. And also I've used a waterway on the bottom, and I always use the waterway with a really bright colour so that it's something completely different to what you've used, just so my client knows it's there, that it's a waterway. I always tell them, but I like to just make sure it's a different colour, not so that you can see it through the display. If you can see it, then obviously match the colour, but I like to have it in an absolutely different colour so that they remember it's there. At the moment, I am just filling it in, just filling those little bits in that I don't like here, and then I'm going to start decorating it. So I have 3 elements that I want to put on. This one being the woven spiral flower, which we have shown you in a previous video, and I am going to use possibly some glue dots, but I will also want to make sure it's tied in because I don't want that falling off. This one is another different style flower using 260s. I think I might even want to put that one maybe nearer the top and sort of bend it so it's like an open flower. I've left a connection at the back where I could connect there, and then we can fill in the bits around the edge in between, or even just these little bits here with some small 260 flowers too. Again, I will try my best to always tie in and then just glue into position, but sometimes it is okay. Latex to latex with the glue dots do stick really, really well. I don't know how I want it to look, so I'm just gonna play quickly while I do it. So you can make this as big or as little as you want, depending on your client's budget. I always like going extra. You would have seen that on my social media. I would attach some helium here and do something spectacular here. I would probably add on a few more of the 260 flowers coming up the side, maybe something more over here. And I would build a bigger base as well because I just like everything bigger, but this is perfect for a tabletop. So this is great. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial on how to decorate and jazz up your bubble. I really hope you enjoyed this today. Make sure you subscribe and comment below if you're going to give this a go. Make sure to tag us and enjoy creating.